Hey, how's it guys? This is not a flat earth video. I did wrestle with myself whether I should or I shouldn't, but as a patriotic South African, I feel that it is my duty to set straight what's happening in the media about what's happening in my country. I am making this video because I am very sad, heartbroken, disappointed, and really torn up about what's happening in my country right now. The media and social media are touting it as xenophobia, but honestly, I am telling you that I don't think it's xenophobia. After years and years of normal South Africans waiting for their turn to experience the freedom which was promised when Nelson Mandela came out of prison in 1990, they haven't got it yet. And what they are watching are foreigners coming into the country on the premise of asylum seeker or the premise of escaping violence in their own country. They come here and within a few weeks, in some cases, they are able to open businesses, buy cars, buy properties, whilst blocks and blocks of South African streets are being taken over by those foreigners. I personally lived in a building with my family owned by Nigerians, and even now it hurts me that at one point in my life we had to pay rent to foreigners. My question is, why aren't South Africans being given the opportunity to own businesses and have businesses, own homes, properties, land? These are the things which I think have broken South Africans. You know, it really hurts me that South Africans have been pushed to this point. As a South African who grew up in apartheid and voted in that first election in 1994, this is not how I expected my country to turn out. We were never even given the opportunity to experience our freedom. As soon as the ANC took over, they sold off our country bit by bit. At the moment, we are having a commission of inquiry into state capture, where the ANC government sold off our country bit by bit from the time they took over, on the premises of picking up the black South Africans' lives, the quality of life. They didn't do it. They said that they were going to do it, and they took the money for themselves. So South Africans are tired and angry, and they are just wondering why they can't live in their own country, have businesses in their own country. They watch foreigners come here and simply just take over. And I honestly think that this is the ANC's plan to keep a hold of power. I mean, how can a government sell off a country? No resources in South Africa belongs to South Africans. Look at any mining company, the banks, the shopping centers. I think we have maybe two fully South African conglomerates, which is Fidelity and ShopRite. Rest of everything else has been sold off. The chips company Simba was a purely South African company. Now it is owned by PepsiCo. Nothing in South Africa is South African. The ANC government has no idea how to govern a country. All the unrest actually started last week when something about a taxi driver being shot by a Nigerian drug dealer. I'm not sure all the details, but the South African taxi drivers burnt down the foreign-owned buildings in Pretoria, and the unrest spread to other cities. But that is not the only problem. It's not xenophobia. South Africans are tired, and while all of this was happening and our South Africans were breaking down in this crisis, our president wasn't even here. He was at the meeting in Europe, sitting down with the French president. And I have to tell you that I don't have much respect for the French president, like I don't have respect for my own president. The ANC as a whole doesn't know how to govern. I feel that the ANC are the ones who are inciting this violence by not giving South Africans the chance to be quality South Africans in South Africa. Nothing in South Africa belongs to South Africans, guys. And I think that South Africans are tired. Me personally, I don't like violence. I am actually a very emotional person. I'm just always emotional. I live my life with feelings, but I don't see myself running down the street, setting cars on fire and things like that, breaking windows, burning buildings. That's not my style. That's not even in my mindset. But clearly, this is how South Africans feeling. That's how they're feeling. They feel that they gotta outlet their rage somehow. Because really, foreigners before South Africans in South Africa, it just doesn't work. I mean, the employment rate is very high. South Africans, graduates, university graduates can't get jobs. South Africans are tired that foreigners are able to come here and have businesses, and that is what is the bottom line. This is not xenophobia. This is, I think, showing the ANC government, stop doing this nonsense. Let us be first in our own country, please. And once we have established ourselves, sure, let the foreigners in. But right now, the foreigners aren't even paying taxes. They pay off a cop here and they pay off a cop there, and all is good for them. They got no worries. They arrest a drug dealer here. He goes to jail. His buddies bail him out. He's back on the street. The cop knows he's done his job. He's arrested a drug dealer. But that oak is back on the street, and that's how it works. South Africans are very tired. This isn't xenophobia. This is against the ANC government. They need to wake up. They need to wake up and see that they are not governing this country right. The custodians of South Africans are letting us down. I mean, to sell an entire country, that is wrong. And guys, I'm really sorry about this rant, but I just had to stop by here and let you guys know that what's happening in South Africa is not xenophobia, per se xenophobia. It's just South Africans waiting for their turn and not getting it, being sidelined always by some foreign entity somewhere on the premise of having open borders and things. So my flat earth video would be coming out soon, but I'm sorry, as a patriotic South African, I had to put this out there. I don't know whether anyone else will or cares, but I care. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.